Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Myself Sandeep. Every chess grandmaster knows the board is only as powerful as the intelligence behind each move. Today, India's supply chain move rupees 100 lakh crore of goods every year. But for decades, that movement was invisible. A black box for the calls, spreadsheets, and gut feel. SuperProcure is changing that. And today on Shatranj, we sit with leader who has been inside the black box for 20 years. What happens when logistic runs blind and what comes possible when it doesn't? We have Mr. Anurag Chaturvedi with us. We would like to ask Mr. Anurag to introduce himself.
All right.
Welcome to the board.
Thank you, Sandeep ji. Thank you for calling me and having me here today. Hi everyone, my name is Anurag. So most of the times, because it will go to my fraternity also, which is a logistics, so I'll mix Hindi and English. Hope
Sure.
that will be fine with you. So that the people who are actually watching, who need to make some kind of benefit with this conversation, can always read and write. So my name is Anurag. I originally belongs to Delhi and born and brought up in Delhi. The basic educations and everything has been done there itself. Traveled rest of the world. I don't think so any continent has been left out. But originally, the hardcore career is started from a company called Ariba T&D, which is still exists in India way back in 2004 and 2005 at Allahabad. So that is how the basic journey has been started. With a very junior position, I must say that the assistant manager, and then it will gone to till the manager positions with a lot of responsibilities. And those times maybe there's not much of the scope into the logistics, because this fraternity itself never explored. People had never explored that much, and they have never did any kind of complicated work into that. But it was actually 2010 onwards when people started thinking the criticality of the logistics and different and multiple portfolios like local transportation, international transportation, government compliances. So it has been started. So that is how the start has happened. Hope I have started good. It's been already 20 years into the transportation segment, which we can say logistics, and some company also speaks about the procurement. But fundamentally, if we see it, the umbrella, logistics is only the one of the part of the procurement, which supports almost every function. If company has a multiple functions, so we bring the raw material and we deliver the finished goods. That is how the entire logistics is all about. Otherwise, it's a massive subject. Even one day is not enough to explain, but this is in short.
Wow. Wonderful. Very well explained, Anuragji. Anuragji, I heard that 20 years back when you started your journey with the assistant logistic manager with Areva T&D for 2006. Okay, heavy machinery, power sector. How does the typical day look like in the logistic at that time?
For logistics activities, basically, I've been appointed into the doing some of the commercial activities, but there was always segment. There was some vacuum was always there. So a couple of my seniors who has advised me why not I look at this particular segment. So one of our very senior colleague, one of the day he took me to the warehouse and started showing me what is this product is all about, because that was my first introduction into any kind of industry. And those industry was Ariba T&D was involved into manufacturing power transformers. So one power transformer means it should has a minimum 2,000 to 3,000 different added on equipments, and that everything need to be manufactured and everything need to be packed and then to send. And what I'm saying is everything was happening into the old timer registers. Of course, the computers was available, but not that equipped that we can keep entire full data with the analytics over there. Analytics is happening from last 5 to 7 years. So complexity was to bringing the raw material to the factory, making the product good, getting quality cleared, making it into the boxes, keep it ready for packing for exports or import in fact, or domestic in case if it's a customer requirements and is in Delhi or NCR or any part of India. And then it was a transformer. The heaviest package will be ranging anything from 25 metric ton to 100 metric ton. In that plant, I have handled 110 metric ton as a single package. So the time has changed. Government of India has changed the policies. Earlier, we used to bring into the normal low bed trailers. Now, 2015, when the MORTH, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, came into the existence, they changed the regulations. Now it is mandatory to load anything above 25 metric ton into the only to the hydraulic axle mechanism. So it is very famous product nowadays. Everyone uses that, and I'm sure everyone knows it about. So that is how the things have started. So the insurance clauses was there, but how to protect the product, how to ensure the lashing, how to ensure the cushioning of the product, and transformer, as long as I know the transformer is a live body. Whenever we complete the manufacturing until we do the erection and commissioning, it's a live body because it has a gases, it has oil always inside, and it's a moving part inside the transformers. So the jerk should not be there into the trailer. So a lot of exercise we have did. It took couple of years. It does not happen overnight. Lot of trainings, lot of discussions with the technical peoples, lot of discussions with the insurance companies, and then we could able to reach out to some conclusion. Okay, this is what minimum we needed, and that is how we have explored the entire segment. Of course, that was not the end. I must say that even till today, after 20 years of straight, still something new is coming on the way. Logistics is such a field that I must say it will never end.
Come with surprises.
Yes. every time, lot of developments are happening, and after coming AI,
Right.
it's so advanced. Sometimes I get surprised. Okay, this is also the way I can do that, and sometimes I think what I was doing it 15 years before, what I'm doing it now, the way I was doing it, how the things has got easy. At least the detailed technical details and guidances are available nowadays for the logistics fraternity.
Yeah, absolutely. See, the technology is enabler, right?
Yep.
And it helps not only to give you the facility to bring more efficiency to your day-to-day routines. Also, it also guides you how you can ease out those mundane tasks, those things which are basically sometimes you don't have answers, right? If I go back in my past, when we started using computers, when internet was not there, so it was very difficult to phase out, to identify the issues.
Yep.
But today, when you have so many things, with the help of internet, having AI coming into the picture, plus so many of low-code, no-code products are coming in, so it becomes rather much easier to handle those kind of situations.
Yep.
So, Anuragji, I have a follow-up question on this. When during that time, if I go back in 2006, I know the communication was still there, mobiles, all these things was there. But when something went wrong, a delayed transformer, a stuck consignment, how did you even find out to who should call whom? Means what was, it is like not an SOP, but still at many times, as you say, surprises are there. So how you used to manage those times?
So transportation is always a challenge. Even today, when we are doing a transportation for any project material, especially the transformers or any critical equipments, it's still a challenge. So nothing has been solved, but most of the things, the new things are coming up. Once we solve something, something new has come up. So those days, what happened? Still we follow those conditions. If we know that what is the dimension and the weight, what we need to transport the heaviest consignment and where it requires to be delivered. The one and far most important thing was the route survey. So still the route survey companies are, technical people, the engineers are still available, lot of measurement equipments, distance, heat, if it is going by water, what is the draft of the water, how much weight it should take. So complete route survey was the one of the first priorities those days to have it. 2007, 2008, we actually started doing it, those route surveys, and first we started doing it myself. I did, if I recall, I don't have complete count, but at least 500 plus route surveys of myself, driving a car with all measurement equipments. I did it. And then I really realized that where the actually problem is, why the drivers are facing these problems too, especially when they are, traveling with these heavy equipments into the hilly areas where the suspension bridges are there. How to know the, the capacity of the suspension bridges. If anyone in audience could able to understand that, the R class rating of the national highways, the 40R, 70R. So how much suspension weight it will take, how it will cross through. So those calculation technically was not there before. So what we used to do on those days, if there is a bridge, if we found that the bridge is not capable to handle this weight, we used to make a bypasses from the river bypasses, some kind of, and that involves a cost. And sometimes those costs will be higher than a transportation cost. but of course customer used to pay, and sometimes we need to absorb those cost. So survey is the very important point. What is the product is going and how sensitive it is. Transformer being, it normally took at least 1,000 to 1,500 days, 3 to 4 years those days, and now maybe 5,000 to 7,000 man hours to manufacturing that. And a lot of people who's making, someone is making a tank, someone is making a drawing, design, technology, what kinds of kV class, voltage classes be needed. And after doing everything is a procurement, then manufacturing, stripping of the transformer, making a bundling, cabling, everything, copper coiling. It took at least a year. Even still, the scenario is if I talk about the 765 kV transformer, it still took more than 1 year to complete this transformer. And after spending 1 year to the one transformer, then it's a routine inspections and depending on the customer. Most of these kind of big transformers used to purchase by government utilities, so they have their own standards to get it vetted. So it is very important. So after 1.5 year, it is a responsibility, a moral responsibility of the manufacturing utility that it should work very well. So a lot of inspections, a lot of quality checks has to pass through. In terms of transportation, I mentioned already what kind of vehicle we are using, what kind of road it is. If I can give you the one roadblock, like railway crossing, if the line is electrified and transformer normally is more than a height of the electrical wire, even if it is less, then it's a Government of India, Indian Railways policy that we need to buy a shutdown for particular time. And on that shutdown, they switch off the electrical lines, and that time only we can able to cross. So this activity literally on those days used to take 10 to 15 days. So imagine the complete set of hydraulic axle was waiting somewhere to having a permission and then to cross. And imagine that time if railways are now very advanced. Earlier those days, the flyovers on very solid flyovers where 150 tons can cross was not there. It's only last 10, 15 years we can able to see that infrastructure is getting boomed. So 1,000 kilometers at least we need to cross 2 to 3 places, the railway crossing minimum. And after that, there's a lot of rivers, a lot of culverts. And everywhere we need to see that whether it can really cross. If not cross, then making a bypasses. Even till today, I'm just trying to compare apple to apple. Take 30 to 40 days to deliver one transformer, at least 700 to 1,000 kilometers if it is delivered. Even if it is higher, if it is an overseas delivery, so ocean, typically for Europe 30 days, for Americas maybe still I have recently spent 45 days only for the seaways, and then customs and government compliances are separate. That's a different set of discussion. So that's my submission is. Yeah. So technology,
very nicely,
including the technology. Yeah. Technology is the one thing, of course, as I mentioned, it's supporting a lot to us, no doubt about it. To identify, at least to identify the obstacles. But logistics is something. Everything is manual.
Right.
People who are driving, they are the people. People who are doing the calculations are the manual. Insurance companies still doing the everything. Rest of the world, everything manually to assessment of the product, risk of the product, everything is happening manually. Of course, we came long way. At least we have a data to analyze. We have a lot of data from last 20 years to do analytics. At least with that, we can able to know where we have, like I mentioned, that government is doing a lot of push for infrastructure. Earlier, some distance we were, crossing through for 1,000 kilometers. Maybe that has been now reduced to 600 kilometers. So.
Yeah, the long highways and the kind of infrastructure improvement is happening.
Texas,
definitely is going
to. There's no borders now. Commercial vehicle is not being stopped. Every state we used to stop earlier for at least a week for this kind of equipments. Toll are not ready to pass through these. Now every toll which you cross nowadays, you'll find the last passage is only for oversized vehicles, so they can always pass this oversized vehicle. So a lot of changes are happening. We also represent sometimes in front of the government, and we give our requirements. They listens to us. At least I did representation a couple of times. They listens to us, they execute to us, and sometimes they ask the solution even from us, which is good. Good. At least someone is there who is listening, but challenges are still there. I feel complete automation in logistics for next 25 years will never happen. I can say it is a 50-50. IT is supporting very well, no doubt. Data is available. With that data, we are doing a lot of things, but far way to go.
Yeah,
So just a
absolutely.
beginning,
Yeah,
I must say.
absolutely. Because the last 10 years, India has boomed like a manufacturing hub.
Yeah.
And we are definitely, improvising at many stages.
Yeah.
And the manufacturing without having a logistic support, supply chain
Yeah.
management, understanding all the, challenges of material to reach to the last point, everything requires all those kind of technicalities to be understood. So I see you have moved from Areva to Alstom to L&T and ABB, all in the power infrastructure.
Yeah.
Was the supply chain challenge or fundamentally the same across these companies, or did each reveal a new layer of complexity?
Yeah, it's a infrastructure companies, but for us, see the logistics. What I see is actually, I don't put too much of technologies into this. Logistics for me, I'm very simple. It's length, width, height, and the weight, and then I decide how it should be. So, company from Arriva to Alstom. Alstom was a hydro power generator manufacturing company, and their equipments was transformers, runners, steerings, was too big into the size. Like I'm sure the audience must have heard about the Chamera hydroelectric project, Subansari and Ori. Those was their clients. So I can't reveal more than that because it's a kind of complexity between the organization how they deal with it. But yes, those kind of product they used to make. And then when I shift to the L&T Larsen Tubro, everyone knows it. There's nothing hidden what they do. So I was actually appointed into the one of their segment, which is called ECC those days, and my time it was changed into the construction, L&T construction. So I was based at their corporate office, and we had a responsibility to transfer all kind of construction equipment for any of the site, rest of India and the rest of the world. And those days when I was there, the site was, we used to say in L&T guys, if anyone is listening this podcast, Heil, Bile and Dial. Hyderabad International Airport, Bangalore International Airport, and Delhi International Airport. So L&T is the only company in India who's making those times. Maybe someone new has already came in, who are expert into make aircraft runways. So that time scenario was that, and this runways, new airport runways has been made by them. And one of the a kind of quite interesting story. One of my very senior colleague has told that, Anurag, we have one of the site we have signed off, which is in Bhutan, very close to China border, and there's a lot of equipment like piling equipments, cranes and everything we need to deliver there, and it's a hydropower plant. So we are doing it a complete construction. So how this equipment, I said there must be roads and we should definitely deliver there. He said no. He said you do one thing till the nearest airport of course was Bagdogra. Mm-hmm. You travel to Bagdogra, and from Bagdogra we will send you the cab, and with that cab you can go till the site and see through your eyes, and here is the packing list whether really these equipments can be delivered.
Right.
So I arrived at Bagdogra. Someone has made my inner line permit to enter into the Bhutan. We enter into the Bhutan 6 or 7 hours to Thimphu, then again one night stay. Then again next day, third day was 8 hours journey by road to that village. Mm-hmm. If I'm remembering correct, that's a Punasanchu hydroelectric project in upper Bhutan area. Mm-hmm. And we reached to the one point, cab driver who already went twice, couple of times there, he took us there. It's one of the towns, small town. We said, sir, let's have some meals and tea or coffee, whatever you want. And then there is a slight short distance where we need to walk. We reached around morning 9:30 and we started walking. And we were keep walking. It's evening 3:30, 4 o'clock. I said, what is this, boss? Where is this site? Sir, yeah, aa gaya paas mein. Typical, my beloved, people from hilly regions. So they don't see this as this is samne hai, chalte. And by 6:30, it was dark. We reached to the one of the very small village. Sir, aaj raat mein hum idhar hi rukenge, fir hum kal fir se shuru karenge. I was really upset. I said, what this guy is doing? I said, हम गाड़ी क्यों नहीं लेके आए सर, वहाँ गाड़ी जाने के लिए रास्ता ही नहीं है. Then next day morning again we started around 3.5 hours after walking. We reached to the one place, and then this guy has shown me, sir, can you see that small house, set of house? I said, that is just behind that there is a river passing through. And on that river bench, this site has been proposed. So imagine if I cumulatively, if I walk, I'm not the good walker that time. But of course, people who staying in cities can't walk too much, like people from the hilly region. So almost 20 hours we were walking, and then we have reached. I said, boss, it's not possible. If person like me have to walk for 20 hours to reach the site, then how the equipments will be. So I took thousands of pictures. I made my report. I presented to the management, and they accepted very positively. Lot of now that project is completed. I left this company very long back. Project I heard that project is completed, successfully completed, installed, commissioned. But I remember I have photographs kind of challenges. We used to bring a lot of equipments from Germany, Bauer to the Haldia port to the Calcutta port, and transportation from there, and how the hilly area, these things. So these was the experiences. Actually, this is the one I revealed. Why? Because at least I can able to set some kind of context. So I have hundreds of such stories lined up, but that's okay. May not be relevant for this podcast, I guess.
Yeah,
but that's
no,
fine.
That's right. Actually, these are the things which let us to think about what kind of challenges you see on the functional side. Because when we are sitting towards the transformation side, we see one side of the picture.
Absolutely.
Right? And as a functional subject matter expert, you are the right person. You know what kind of challenge you face on the ground, right? So that is what we want to discuss and understand and hear you. So at what point did you first think we need to stop managing logistic reactively and start building systems for it so that it can help you to better manage the things?
So if I understood your question correct, which year or what was that time?
Yes.
So at least for me, I was very clear. Unless we have a processes, unless we have a proper KPIs in place for factories, for people from the logistics, from the service provider, from the transporting companies, and everyone, unless we have those, we cannot able to do it. The systems has to be in place. So typically, the manufacturing organization, medium to small manufacturing organization, if you see what is the budget of the transportation, depending on the product. If we are heavy lift industry, now roughly 5 to 7.5% is the total spend of their total turnover. So if we are doing 1,000 crores, so imagine what kind of cost we are talking about. And cost, on what cost? That's important. So someone has worked, manufactured those company, thousands of employees there, spend a lot of patience, a lot of compromises. And imagine if the logistics has not been planned well and something accident or something happens in between. So entire efforts of the organization, their finances, their efforts, their emotions will go into the whale. Transformer is such a product. If anything happens, if it is almost arrived at the site and something happened, there's no engineering available today in this country. If something major happens, some of the minor thing can be rectified. It has to come back to the the manufacturing
plant,
and it's only manufacturing area where you can open this and see that what actually has happened.
Right.
So imagine what kind of cost are we talking about? What kind of patience are we talking? And if something is wrong, suppose some coil and something is attached to it and it's got damage, then the entire core coil need to be take out, which is again months together of the job. And it's a very typical, I must say is a disaster if it has happened. So imagine what kind of planning is required to make a successful planning. The KPIs, like who will do what. So it was it was the first time when I reached to the company ABB, Asia Brown Brewery earlier, but when I joined it was ABB Limited. Into their headquarters at Bangalore. So I could able to meet with a lot of fantastic peers into the industry who has spent their time into the multiple industries. And that is the time I started really learning and directly interacting with the, European community, the way they, analyze everything, the kind of research they do, and especially our in-house peoples. There I started getting at the ideas that what kind of KPIs will needed, what kind of, the milestones is required, what is the meaning of the safety, what is the meaning of the quality. Then I started preparing the documents. I'm still preparing it. I have a document set of which I am keep writing. I love writing. Maybe around 1,000 pages still we have, and I converted everything into the electronic. So every time some new invention happens, so those parameters automatically gets changed, which I keep updating it. So that was the time when this revolution, I can say, within me, it has been started. And then I started documenting everything, the route surveys, all the reports, the pictures, the processes, the KPIs inside the plant, KPIs for bringing the raw material inside the plant, and delivering the final goods, how the bills and payments will happen, how the GST will happen, how the way bill things, because it's ultimately GST and all taxation compliance is it's a part of logistics. Logistics are the one who's supposed to take care. 5 years back, the scenario before GST era, the system was slightly different. After that, I also have changed. But yes, 2012 onwards, it was the time when actually mind started hitting it up. And I got somewhat of the free time, because the position what I have honored with from ABB was a quite capable higher position. So there were the people around to whom I can take a help and really to understand. And that was also the time when my real interaction with the computers has started. Yeah. That was the first time I was allowed to have my own IDs into the SAP, 2012. And then I really start understanding how the processes inside the SAP is happening. And multiple module, material management, SD module. When I did my deep dive into these modules, then I realized there are people in this world who actually already thought of, but the functions are not being implemented. That is again the right time. So organizations supported us very well. I did a lot of traveling, all the plants of almost in India and couple of overseas as well. I started making got that approval from the seniors and the peers, especially into the legal and compliances. Sign off happened, and then I said, let us execute. Unless we execute, we will never know where is the problem is. So problem came. Yeah. And we have rectified. Internal discussions has happened. So that is how the process started. Now, I must say, I'm traveling to a lot of institutes. I'm traveling to a lot of very good reputed institute. Again, I won't take name into the events. I go a lot of places, but I normally very humbly, I share my experiences with them. So at least new generation who is coming in, who's trying to, now we have reputed colleges who's giving a degree into the logistics management. It was not there 10 years before. Yeah. No one was used to respect. Now, people are coming, new young generation is coming. So I really want, those generation to at least to come, learn, and then execute. At least if I spend 20 years, they should complete it smartly in 5 years of time, but it will take time.
No, definitely. And one thing is very important here, Anuragji, which you spoke about. Any transformation can never happen without, involvement of any functional subject matter expert. Because from transformation standpoint of view, it is a mindset actually. If we are not ready mentally, we are not ready to adopt or accept anything, it will never happen.
Of course.
I can bring any of the tools or technologies, but the tools and technology will not work unless it is not aligned with your thought process, your practices, and your functions.
Of course.
So that is very important. And Anuragji, I just, during your discussion, I understood that in ABB, you have been given a mandate to build a transport management center.
Transport management center.
Let's make it concrete. Before the TMC existed, what did freight cost ABB per year versus after you centralized and optimized it? What did control actually buy then? Okay. So what is the difference it brought into the entire fraternity or the function actually?
Okay. When ABB accepted to prepare this TMC, so I actually have started after one of the function. There is a lot of peers was also involved into that. I cannot able to give you the exact span into that because of the copyright and legality concern. But I must say, year on year the very first year we could able to save 11%. Second year is around 15%, and third year onwards 7, 8, 9%. So company who is doing a business of thousands of crores for this cost is very important, and not in the cost of poor quality.
Yes.
on the standard quality, which is keep maintained. And it is not happening not only because we were keep negotiating it. No, because of we were bringing a lot of technologies, a lot of systems in place.
Structured system.
Structured approach to the the logistics system, and that is how all the things has happened. I'll give you one example. One of the example in 2015, there was Ministry of Road Transport and Highways did their launch event into Delhi. Shri Nitin Gadkari ji is also graced that occasion. I'll tell you what has changed after that. So our trucks from our Nasik factory, those days, whatever they were moving, and the Vehicle Act, Motor Vehicle Act, which I normally say MV Act, it was around 70, 60, 65 years old. 60, 65 years old, the people who have made those, they have not imagined that after 50 years we'll be handling a transformer which is 200, 250, 300 metric ton. Or they have never imagined that the equipment, they never imagined the wind blades we are making in India, which is 100, 150, where you must have seen into the highways. So, but companies has to still follow those motor vehicle. Government is still a very hard way. Government is working to make a change. I heard in some forum, which is actually good. So imagine what would happen that one of the factory, which is in Nasik, and product is going to the northern part of India. Typically they have to cross 5 states. Every 5 states before entering and after exiting, they have to stop for assessment from their RTO offices and to pay the penalties. Now what happened? Every side, if we are paying, if it is a right side, it's a over dimension, then we have to pay the penalty around 10,000 rupees. If it is a left side, then again we have to 10,000. If it is in height, the similar. So all this, the driver or the owner or the transport company is supposed to pay there, get the permit, and then move on. Story not ends here. Now vehicle is entered into the MP. Now when it is again entering into the Rajasthan, the similar thing will happen again. So we have requested actually through some of our consultant to the ministry that, okay, we are ready to pay the penalties, but now the question here is we don't want to wait there, which is typically killing 1 month of time. Time is the money. Our customer didn't give us too much of time because we have to deliver. So government has agreed to that. So now most of the companies who are paying the penalties directly, they pay one time over dimension shipments and they carry on. Right. So no one is there. And there's a clear guidance from the government of India that no RTO can stop into the any borders. For commercial vehicles, there is a straight, and this has actually happened after COVID. COVID period has crossed. So this is a clear instruction. So driver once they start, this straight away goes to the destination. I mean, unless there is some really typical, if GST stops for some reason and they found something good, something wrong. But for these reasons, where to pay the taxes and the duties, they are not going to stop it.
And this is also very good. Now every government portal or the kind of ecosystem have matured. You can integrate with your application.
Yes.
And I must say, like when you're talking about Vahan Act, today in Vahan portal, you can go and check all the documentation, everything you can find it out. So it is actually very, very easy because as you rightly said, the time you have to stop there, show your papers and everything. If your mobile or if your application is showing every data over there, so you don't need to worry about it.
Yes.
And this is how actually the efficiency improves, right?
It's a cumulative effort, basically. Everyone has to work. Government, especially the industry, then the transporting companies.
Right.
Actually, one of the very strong matter which I feel, which government supposed to support us to recognize transport companies as an industry. Right. It has still not been done, and it will take. I'm sure it's a policy matter, of course, with the government, but they should do that. With doing that, there will be at least they are doing a lot of support to the small truck owners. They are really in trouble.
Right.
They spend their entire life money, purchase the assets. They're trying to earn some money, but these kind of problems they stuck a lot of places. Once government recognize this as an industry zone, a lot of gateways will open for the industry, for the transporting companies. So I don't know when it will happen, but I'm sure it will happen.
Yeah, definitely. So I understood. So the government is also looking towards the bringing more maturity to the ecosystem, because as we see today, the country is moving towards 2 trillion, 3 trillion kind of economy, right? If we have to grow like any mature country.
Yeah.
So it is important that we need to fix our systems. We should have agility around the processes.
Yes.
We also need to understand those old, 1970s eras or British
It's
eras.
going actually.
Yes, all
Government is
those
supporting.
need
I mean,
activity.
Sagarbala project.
Yes, sir.
Government has introduced waterways. Government has already approved. Golden Quadrangle
Yes.
project, which is connecting to all metro cities. That's already been done.
Yeah.
Now Delhi to Bombay, you have almost the national highway, super expressway is already ready. You just climb and you need not to drop in anywhere.
Yeah.
You see the first super expressway, which is from Ahmedabad to Baroda. I mean, I saw that around 20 years before. By the time it was completed. So road and infrastructure, the facilities, the taxation, the toll, everything gets diluted. And I'm sure you will be receiving a lot of messages into the news and media. A lot of tolls are not. It's not free. It's scanner based.
Yeah.
You just cross through. I mean, sensor will trace and they'll
Saving a lot
charge.
of time. Earlier, you used to stay there for 1 hour.
Yeah. So I waited. I
Yeah.
mean, from when I used to travel to Delhi and from Delhi to Gurgaon, whenever I used to go, I kept hold my cab there for more than 2 hours.
Yeah,
For what? Paying a toll.
Yes.
Paying a toll.
Yes. Yeah, Gurgaon toll was very famous for their.
Yes, yes. There are many such tools
Yes,
are there. So
right.
things are changing. I mentioned, I mean, to me, it took 20 years. Another 20 years, it requires to smooth. I mean, we should see that who is our, master where we can look at. So we should look at how the European Union has converted, how they have created their infrastructure. Of course, it took hundreds of years. The fastest economy as someone has did is China.
Right.
I was very impressed. Many times I've been there. The way the highways and infrastructure they have created, too good. There's a very user friendly. That is about the one of the reason. Remote of the remotest area into the China, you'll find the factories. Thousands of people are working. Industrial products are keep moving. The port facilities there. I mean, the port facilities, what we have 20 years before the major Indian ports, I can say. Now it's completely changed. The entire, the way officers now behave, they receive you, they, call you with, next to their chair and they listen to you. Okay, what is the problem? I mean, customs are too good. Port authorities are too good. Of course, still there is there is a chance of improvements. It will happen.
No, absolutely. See, as I was looking towards, earlier we used to say customer experience, then we used to say employee experience. What I am seeing in many of the countries, they are talking about citizen experience,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And here, what I see from the Indian government standpoint, what is coming is like industries needs to be given the experience of doing the business with the ease, right?
Yeah.
So those are the things. I will go to the next question, Mr. Anurag. The visibility is everything in logistic, and you understand that once your vehicle has left your godown until it is reaching to the client place, right? You need to have a visibility. You want to have an eye on it, right? When you started at ABB, what percentage of your shipment did you have real-time eyes on, and what did the journey to getting full visibility actually look like? The technology, the pushback from carriers,
Yeah.
the internal change management.
So Sandeep ji, I mean, I guess in this interview podcast, it's a first technological question. So I definitely like to answer this. I mean, still not developed. We are at least 20-25 years behind. See, the GPS connectivity in India, which normally typically tracks through these trucks. I mean, we have something in a mobile also, but that kind of advancement, what we needed, is still not there. That complete dependency, even the largest industry today. I mean, matter if I remove 10% of the cases, 90% still the dependency on the Excel sheet, which transport companies are sending every day. Okay, the vehicle yesterday was there and it traveled 100 kilometers, now
WhatsApp
it is
group.
reached. And we need to trust that. Right? So what we can do is we can enable the GPS into that over the trucks. But now since the law doesn't allow doesn't protect the interest of the manufacturing companies. So I tried a couple of times, and it was in I think year of 2019 and 2020 sometime I guess. So gave some mobile phones to the drivers. Okay, you keep it with you. So they stop somewhere. They kept the mobile into the trucks and they went somewhere and sir, I have some problems. So basically, what will happen that the very advanced cars, we should also. You can see some of the cars written behind the internet inside. So we need to typically see what does it means. So the commercial vehicle also had to be internet inside enabled.
But now the Tata and other vehicles, those are coming with this GPS
Even
inbuilt.
a lot of they are coming with the inbuilt, but what does it require? It requires a satellite connectivity. At night, it requires a GPS. I'll tell you. I mean, the very recent example. I live at Mumbai.
Right.
One of the fine day, I was crossing from BKC area towards the airport.
Yeah.
I had to take a turn, one particular left turn towards. I really forgot the small place name where I was going for some kind of shopping. So I, set my mobile with the map, Google Map, and after a certain point it stopped. I was keep driving. Google was showing okay, it's running, but after 10 or 15 seconds, it was showing that I already missed.
Got lost.
I already missed.
Yes.
That turn. So imagine. We need a very powerful internet inside. We need a very powerful GPS connectivity, and that to be connected. And we cannot rely only onto the mobile phones. The GPS devices has to be inbuilt inside the engines, which can be directly connected with somewhere where we can retrieve maybe some data center. We can always retrieve the data from there, where the truck is, how much kilometers it. A lot of companies are trying to do advancement. Then that I must say that will happen.
Right.
But it's in testing phase. A couple of companies I know who is really trying very hard. I mean, especially the FMCG companies, they are really trying very hard because the turnaround time of their product is very high. Yeah. If they manufacture something, next 2 days it has to be on shelf.
Yes.
If it is not at the shelf, someone else will put their product. So they need to know. They are trying somehow with a mobile or something, but still the proved technology with that, where you can open your mobile phone or app and you like flight radar 24.
I know.
Why you can able to see the aircraft, thousands of aircraft in the sky? Why you cannot see a trucks?
Right.
So simple question. So a lot of people are working on that. Advancement will definitely happen, but it will take some time.
Absolutely. And the thing is, what we are looking towards and understanding from the current landscape and the discussion, this is important because it is not only from this point of view when the logistic is reaching to the client side, it is also giving you the visibility to the people those are invested on the product, on the supply and everything.
Yes.
So Hitachi ABB acquisition in 2020, and you stayed through it. What does a $6.4 billion industry M&A actually do to a live logistic operations, carrier contracts, ERP system?
We did a lot of changes. Actually, both companies was the excellent masters. Hitachi are again the Japanese company, the next level. I mean, it was I must say, it was my pleasure and one of the lifetime experience work with the people who are masters into their subjects.
Right.
So a lot of things has changed. I mean, there was earlier we tried to put up some kind of TMS, transport management systems, but that really didn't work. What has been made for thinking of the scenario which is happening typically into the European countries, because they don't have border system and all, they can just drive through. So that somehow didn't work. So finally, I guess I was not involved. They said we go with the SAP. And the implementation phase of the SAP S/4HANA was started in early 2021-22, and they completely. By the time I left Hitachi, it was implemented successfully, and that is the Indian management was really supportive, and they have implemented. They pushed very hard. And they implemented those. Now, your question, I go back again to what was happened into the IT and a software.
Yeah.
See, we need to see the compliances.
Right.
Logistics is not only for calling a truck, load your product,
Absolutely.
and go. It's a compliances.
Right.
Now, so far what we are talking about, we are talking only about the transportation within India.
Right.
The regulation, taxation regulation into the each state are different. They have some different levies which we need to respect. That's the first thing. Northeast state, the scenarios are different. Jammu and Kashmir, the scenarios, some places are different. But the same thing when we are, exporting something out from India, like Middle East, almost free economy. So they don't have much of restriction, but the product, if it is going to somewhere in Africa, Tanzania is growing like anything. Africa, every country in Africa is growing like anything nowadays as a EPC point of view. Americas, some of the countries in Latin countries or few countries in Europe or some of the, Russian attached countries, I don't want to take a name, maybe sanctioned countries. But what is happening, these countries have a different regulations for everything. The only one thing which is common is HSN, harmonization codes. But their policies, their custom policies, the way they think about the product, someone think Transformer is a very good product, someone think GIS is a very good product, someone thinks no, we don't need it, someone need windmills, but someone don't need a windmills. So they, with their wish and will, depending on the requirement of their law of land, they control the regulations. And the person who is sitting in the country like India has a knowledge enough that what will happen. Now, how you will control so many regulations at one platform? Right? Which is next to impossible, which cannot be done. If you ask any developer, any coder who is working in, now S4HANA is also gone. Now we are in next stage of RISE. If you ask them, okay, I have to send, but last 20% deliveries for Americas, I need different system. For Europe, I need different. And Europe, 10 countries, I need a different.
Right.
It's not possible.
So
hope you got my answer.
I got your answer, but with the kind of technological changes which has happened or happening now, with the bringing of artificial intelligence, I feel there is a misconception that artificial intelligence is something to do something.
Everything. Everything.
So it is a magician, okay? You twist the magic wand and something will happen. But the fact is, it is a kind of an invention which helps you to identify those gaps, those can be missed out during these kind of long distance or multi-country kind of compliances when you are looking for. And I see there are kind of many application which is coming up. One is into GRC space, which is governance, risk, and compliance. And those compliances, they are binding in telling you all those compliances, those are missing. But I agree with you at this point that all the compliances, to meet all the compliances, it is very, very difficult for every company. Platform anyways will give guidance, okay, this checklist is done or not. But the problem is governance is today not a checklist. You need to have every practice in place.
You should upgrade every month. Every month things are changing. Like on all this US sanction thing, a lot of things has changed, which was not there before.
Absolutely. So if a company buying a manufacturing business asked you for a supply chain due diligence checklist, what are the top 3 things they always miss?
Okay. Can I request you to ask this question again?
Yeah. If a company buying a manufacturing business asked you a supply chain due diligence checklist, what are the top 3 things they always miss?
Okay. The country of origin.
Okay.
From where the product is coming in. So I'll give you answer in 2 different parts. One is import and exports.
Right.
If someone is sitting in Europe and is trying to buy something in India, so of course, country of origin, what is the country of origin? And if it is really falls under some kind of sanctions list or not.
Yeah.
The second foremost important thing, how's the logistics is possible? Because you can manufacture a product. You can even, make a reactor, but how will you transport it, right? So that's a problem. Second thing, there's a very nice word. It's in my mind. Feasibility of delivery of the product to the final delivery station, right? Yeah. So normally the project sites are not in the cities. Okay. It's in jungles. Yeah, right. Right. It's sometimes, and I also worked. I have got I must say the privilege to work somewhere close to the Amazon jungles area, and I've seen that. Okay. What is the condition there? So they get the land only there to install and commission the power generation plant, which is away from the location. So the feasibility, the first I mention is the
country of origin.
The country of origin, compliances, whether we can really deliver or not. And third is the availability of the raw material. So these are the 3 things if this is matching. And fourth thing, one more, I like to attach into the taxation today is, many countries have the, very heavy duty levies. So gold, everyone loves. Yeah. So today morning in Times of India, there was, in the front page, India sells 18% expensive gold than any other country. Oh. right? 18%. And India is one of the country who buys the maximum
gold.
gold in the world. So, I mean, everyone who read this, the person from supply chain who read that news, he thinks in different way. Manufacturer, person who is manufacturing, he thinks on a different way. Person like me thinks on the different way.
Right.
So, there's a one line has a lot of supplements into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that is the logistics. So these are the top things. If we have these top things concluded, then normally, typically, the consultant goes for a manufacturing feasibility. Then finding a land and getting a help from the government on that's not a problem. That always can be managed. Going and discussing with the ministers that okay, we need a 500 acres of the land which we want to do project propose basically. Right. Feasibility is the first thing which is very important.
Absolutely.
Yep.
No, because if the feasibility of land is not right, I don't think anything can go ahead.
Yes.
If there is no water, there is no power.
Yep.
So how you will
close
be able to
close to seaports, close to CFS, close to airports.
Now even the border, so getting 15 kilometers alongside the border, you can't have it. Even a house you can't have. So
where in India?
Yeah. So
no, that's okay. Europe, I've seen many houses which is half house in one country, half in one country. Okay, we have some diplomatical issues with our neighbors, which is fine. But yes, you are right because of the security concern. Because the 15-kilometer area is people are there into the Indo-Pakistan borders, but that's completely controlled by the BSF.
Absolutely.
So local government cannot do anything there. There's only BSF.
Right. So Anuragji, help our listener feel what moving a 200-ton power transformer from a factory in Vadodara to a remote project site actually involves the permits, the route surveys, the escort vehicles, the last mile surprise that nobody planned for.
All right. I guess in the beginning I mentioned the route surveys, the very first thing. See, logistics may be a last person, community may be a last person to know that, okay, we are manufacturing something, which after 1 year it has to be delivered. Right? So earlier, I'll put the asterisk mark earlier. So now the large decorated companies have started involving at the bidding stage itself the logistics community. So they normally ask the marketing and front end sales teams normally ask the route service whether it is possible to deliver or not. We do the thousands of route service and we advise okay. Up to following stage is no problem. After following stage, we need to, prepare a bridge or the waterway or, there are multiple ways. And for that, making that today, the cost is this, tentative. And after 3 years, when you deliver, then maybe we don't know what will be the cost or you can increase. Today, the dollar price is this. So maybe when I started, it was, how much? 57.50 rupees a dollar?
Right.
Now you see what has happened to the dollar.
96.
So that FX impact is already increased double of the cost, right? It's impacting everywhere. So we normally submit those reports and based on that report, they bid. They consider those costs. Even though if they don't consider, it's a call of the management always. We don't interfere into that, but our reports are there, all right? And if they have taken something on negative, that's a management call, how they wanted to sell. They normally don't do that. The cost maybe sometimes sitting here and there. And you mentioned 200-ton transformer, if that transformer has to go to the somewhere, so we know at least 3 months in advance. So normally we start preparation of the transformer movement. We know when the routine test will happen, when the type test will happen, when customer will release. At least we have a tentative dates. So we place the vehicles for a heavy load. This is on the survey we did 2 years before. We do another survey because the present situation may completely differ than our earlier situation.
Right.
So we assess the situation again and we again submit to the management normally with the comments. Okay, this has been improved. This has been still got a little deteriorated, and maybe that this cost will come. We will hit the cost, and then we do the bidding. And with that bidding, of course, the transporting company will also be doing their own research and surveys. They give us a quote. Okay, let's understand the pricing has been fixed, vehicles has been placed, and then a lot of permissions. Anything above I mentioned, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways are involved for permissions.
Right.
So they need to apply. Now, typically it take 1 day to 30 days to getting the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways permissions, and then the moment starts. With the escorting vehicle, heavy vehicles always requires escorting. Hydraulic axle, per axle load, normally what I really, adjust with my mind is, and of course, the axle manufacturing company says the 17 ton per axle load can be taken, but I do it 14 to 15 tons to have a little bit of safeguard. If 20 axle of the joint combination of 20 axle is moving, so you need a really big convoy.
Yeah.
And almost 15 to 20 peoples with the escort, without all kind of fooding facilities, and they start walking maybe 30 to 40 days on the road. So that is for heavy lift. Trucking normally happens very fast. So truck normally anywhere in India, I don't think so it will take more than 5, 6, 7 or 8 days of time. So they arrive first. But entire logistics completes only when the transformers arrive there. So risk, accidents, weather, political conditions. I mean, some of the things, rights, of course, always.
Yeah.
Some of the condition, little sad kind of condition I stuck with in Orissa sometimes, local festival.
Okay.
So they stopped the entire highway. They said, now we have a festival, 15 days, we'll celebrate the festival, which is okay. We should always respect the regional feelings into that. But we weren't aware that this is going to be happen. And now, since the hydraulic axle reached up to the one particular point, and if it has to take a bypass, it'll take another 20 days of time because you have to go back and then have to take a turn and then come. So we don't do that.
Right.
And it is a risk.
Right.
It is a risk. So we wait. These kind of risks are there. The government policy, of course, then taxation is always a risk nowadays because government of India changing a lot of things very swiftly. That's somewhere I can say 5 to 10% is also impacting into the transportation. Fuel prices, global crisis, fuel prices, as I'm sure everyone is reading a newspaper. It's a 10 times in last 1 month has been revised, and it's always increasing.
It is going to increase more.
It is. Hopefully it is going to increase more.
Yeah.
So everything is all about cost and the budget.
Absolutely.
So these are the risk factors. Everyone knows this. I mean, this is nothing new, which I'm speaking it out over here. Everyone knows it, but have you really budgeted that? Have you really forecasted that? That's important. And here is the role of AI, which can bring into analyzing the data. What happened in the last 6 months? What is the geopolitical situations into the rest of the world? And what is going to be happening?
So this is where you absolutely brought it right. So how AI is helping to the industries. I was just working on some of the other analysis where I was talking to somebody who was into legal, fraternity. So, in any case of, in various cases, when a legal counsel is working for a corporate cases, right, they have to go through in the old cases to study it, to find it out, what is the situation right now, and what was the case during which year, and similar kind of cases they want to find it out. So where I told them, so this is where AI can help you, the one case of it. Second, if you go towards the pharma, the drug discovery, which is time consuming. So those kind of things, it is not about, it is going to find out the drug for you, right? It may use your data, creating and analyzing all those things and giving you a kind of help, which an assistant manually can do, but it will take time. So to save your time. So what you are saying, so these kind of things, as you told about Orissa and these kind of scenarios, when those data are available with the AI-based tool, they can give you those kind of prediction in advance so that you can take your call, right? And I know when we used to do kind of analysis to file an RFP, so we used to keep a contingency plan for this kind of challenging time or kind of a cost. But how much, what kind of or what size of contingency you want to put? 5%, 10%, 50%. I believe the way you are saying, it might be sometime the cost is going the way high what you have
3 to 4 times, yes, of course.
That's right.
If we have imagined some suspension bridge of 40 R, if my product of 40 tons will cross through, and later BRO has said, no, this has some problem, it cannot cross through. And they very politely say, my friend, you have to travel under 400 miles to reach to this place now. You have to go back and then do it. Imagine per kilometer cost of these kind of heavy axles. That's tremendous. That risk is always there.
I understand. So, Raji, I will like to go for the next question, where Kalpataru operates in 20 plus countries and
even more.
Yeah. So cross-border logistic, customs duties, documentation, last mile variance is a different beast from the domestic freight. What's the part of global trade management that India's logistic industry still has not cracked?
Not
cracked.
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 Okay. India is very advanced, I'll tell you. I mean, not only for Kalpataru, my present company, but for all the companies. India is really very advanced. The way customs has changed their portfolios in last 5 years, it's amazing. Now your question is about the trade compliance.
Yeah.
So trade compliance is the one subject we already in between this podcast we spoke about. The condition accepting the material into their countries and on what conditions. So trade compliance has to look at what the very first thing, if it is sanctioned or not, what kind of product it is. What kind of commodity it is. Maybe it is hazardous material, it's oil, it's gases, because transformer, there's thousands of KL of oil also moves. What kind of commodities is it? Whether that country accepts us or not, even if it is not accepting, what kind of duties need to be paid. That's a part of trade compliance. HSN codes, harmonization codes, which is very important. Fourth very important thing is, the ENCO terms, how we are managing the ENCO terms. Either I'm going to deliver at your doorstep, or you are sending your person to pick up from my plant. That's very important. That's a strategic decision, right? And normally, the product like transformers, which is, I said, it's a very complicated product. So even if I'm selling that, like I'm buying a TV, I get the warranty for 1 year. So like if I'm selling the transformers, I had to give some warranty, 5 years, 10 years, depending on the what deal we had. So normally, the large companies, decorated company, like to keep these, the transportation piece with them.
Yeah.
So the things will be in their control.
Right.
They don't want to take a risk if someone who's not aware about how to load, how to barge it, how to kept on the ship, and how to pass through. So they wanted to avoid those because the only reason behind it, the guarantees and warranties and the name and fame of their company are attached to it.
Right.
If something happened, installation, commissioning happened, if something happened with the transformers, news and media today in our country is very powerful. So it will spread.
Yeah.
No one knows that why it has happened. There may be thousands of reasons. People don't wait for reason. They say it has happened.
Right. And, that is more costlier to lose your name and brand.
Credibility
value
is very
rather-
important.
Yeah,
So these
absolutely.
companies are very sensitive.
Right.
Any company, matter of fact. Of course, I'm working for some company. They're also very sensitive.
Right.
In the information. But ultimately, every company which I worked for so far, their final aim is to make customer happy. Whatever we have, promised, we should deliver. And basis on that, because selling something one time is not optional. We need to, the customer has to be get repeated.
Right.
And that will happen with the services. If the services are good, customer definitely get repeated. And that is how I believe the rest of the world, the marketing people, they trying to pitch the things into the right thing, into the right place.
Right.
I'm not the subject matter expert of marketing, but I know one thing today. I mean, if this is the most typical transportation, any part of the world, I never say anyone that it will not deliver.
Yeah.
It will definitely deliver. It may take some time and some more efforts or some more cash is needed to deliver that. The processes are available.
Everything is possible. If
Everything
you
is
have,
possible.
You have the plan, you have the
Everything is
strategy, you have the money.
Yes.
Everything is possible. And it is rightly said. Anuragji, this is very important thing the next question which is I'm basically trying to put. I have been into digital transformation field from the role of CIO working with healthcare, education, and various industries.
Yeah.
Now, you have been into logistics, supply chain.
Yeah.
And I am looking for a kind of an honest answer. So, why many Indian companies still operate on spreadsheet and WhatsApp?
Because I guess no one has proved them wrong.
Oh, it is not about proving wrong, basically. But my point is that where we can have so many of processes and automation which can actually bring a customer delight. I will give you a very simple example. Today, if you see, India is nowadays more talked about the fast food delivery.
Yep.
Right. So
App-based.
those apps are basically even supplying you any item from rupees 5 to 5,000 or 50,000, doesn't matter the amount of values. And that is somewhere also about the logistics, supply chain, everything involves into that as well, right? There we are not working on WhatsApp and Excel sheets.
Absolutely.
They are working on digital native platforms. They are working on the much more advanced application system. I see at many places people talk about if we are going to provide this kind of application, the person on the other hand may not be that much educative or he may not be able to understand the app which I don't believe, because today
That's not true.
yeah, because India is, I think, one of the largest consumer of mobile phone and internet, and anybody or everybody is using those mobile phone. Even the 90-year-old grandfather who has never used the technology, he is also using, maybe taking help from his small, his grandson or whosoever. So saying that technology learning will be a challenge, I don't think that is a challenge. Is there the intent is the challenge,
No.
or the people those are from the industry or maybe from the functional side, they are not interested to bring those kind of transparency and smooth operations.
No, it's not. It's not the case. I can able to tell only the Indian mindset. What is the Indian mindset? Is first is cost sensitiveness into the cost, whether your cost is being shared with anyone or not. First thing, right? That's a big compliance. What costing I'm doing it, other is could able to see my costing or not. So they wanted to save the data. Supply chain management. I mean, you are into the IT field. I'm not the IT expert. I mean, I have a question with you. Is there any integrated software in this world which is available, which can provide everything B2B?
See, it is saying that any software available, there are two scenarios in this. One scenario is when you are saying any product available. So
Product.
that is what I'm trying to. So there are two scenarios. One is product. So when I'm talking about a product availability, so a same solution may not fit to every business. So there
We
is
already spoke
always
about
required.
India has a different regulations and Europe has different.
Absolutely.
So this is the first answer to your question. Now, proceed.
No, second thing is where the solution needs to be tailored as per the requirement of the business. And this is the first and foremost thing which is required.
So last edge of 20%, 25% are different than each and every country.
Not only country, I'm talking about, let's say, for Indian
Product-wise?
or industry vertical wise. Every vertical has a different requirement. And I 100% agree with you. Even if you talk about if I take example of your old organization as well, so ABB may be having different requirement, Hitachi might be having a different. So you cannot have one product that can fits all. So it needs to be basically designed or tailored as per the business requirement, and that is business is you.
Exactly.
Because you are going to tell what you require, and we will bring it that. But here the question which I want to or we want to emphasize. So when the operations or these kind of things runs within Excel, WhatsApp, these kind of application, there are challenges. What we are saying is what you want to see on your table as an analytical kind of a report, right? The time taken to get those report accumulated from these system and to bring on your table may take more time rather than which can be faster on a click of second if we bypass the system or we integrate the system as well. So there is a system now where your Excel and WhatsApp can also be integrated.
I mean, MS Word Excel has a AI mode already enabled there. I mean, you can do a lot of things, but it's not possible actually. As on today, I'm said it's. I'm not saying it's impossible.
Yeah.
The software development in my time, what I've seen in last 15 years, there's a lot of companies who's doing a fantastic efforts. So in a supply chain management, see, we need to first understand what is supply chain management. It's a vast subject. A lot of misconceptions are there. Supply chain management itself is consume a lot of functions in it.
Absolutely.
Which may be procurement, which may be some of the portion of the legal support, some of the finances, some of the logistics, some of the procurement. There are many things.
Right.
Now, these IT companies developing a lot of softwares, which is very good. Many of them I have seen it, which are maybe parallel to the SAP. But now the problem is if you make some product, if you make one product here and one product for import, one product for exports, and you cannot do the vice versa because in IT field that's not possible because the complete value chain for import was different and exports was different.
Absolutely.
Especially when the cross borders are involved, right? So how will you integrate this? How AI will understand the product? How AI will understand, the cross-border compliances? How AI will understand the different scenarios of the Incoterms, different scenarios of the harmonization codes, right? To understand all these 5 points, there are softwares available. The best of the best softwares are available, which, they are the best in the world. Now, how you will bring, I don't know whether maybe someone in this world may be thinking already about it. integration of these softwares is important.
Absolutely.
What Amazon has did, you please read the story of Amazon, that book. If you go into that, how much patience and how much time it took. More than 30,000-40,000 young chaps are working into the Amazon buildings in Bangalore, Amazon buildings in Hyderabad, Amazon buildings in wherever they, what they do, full day, they do the research in every product which is already developed, how fast they can develop. One of my friend was giving me an example. The moment we type, water.
Yeah.
So somewhere one AI agent sitting somewhere in the world already started thinking this gentleman is in this, this area, this city, this pin code, and how many water related hits I can do for him, because the developer of that word is sitting somewhere. And he's already developed that. So how we can integrate? Supply chain management will get definitely, I said maybe 20 more years it will take. None of the companies are doing a one integrated software. Be it airlines companies, they use the multiple softwares for running their aircrafts. Boeing has a different softwares. Airbus has a different. When pilot on board, he has a entirely different. I'm sure you have saw the iPads with them.
Right.
What is those iPad? If you really go into that, then you'll realize, okay. Then top of that, there is a monitoring agency already there, which is called Flight Radar 24. I'm taking this name second time.
Right.
How they are doing it, how they are tracking it. So they must have integrated their satellite release systems with their softwares. Work has to be done. I mean, if someone wanted to work, a lot of people from the IT field, a lot of people from AI field are already in touch with me from last 2-3 years. I mean, they sometime comes, we discuss that, okay, we reach up to this place. What could be next bottleneck? What could be happen next? We discuss, they develop, we reach to some conclusion, but this is on very friendly kind of discussion. But some solid company who's ready to invest into this have to really start their data center, bringing the people, subject matter experts, and talking with them and making the everything documented as on today. Right. Because person like me, if I'm talking something today, government will change the policy after 15 days. 80% things will swipe off. Absolutely. Something new will come.
Absolutely.
So that's a challenge in AI. It's not that it's not working. It's working very well.
Right.
But the only thing is working very well into the different pockets.
Absolutely. So your point is well, where we have seen in many of the organization, the challenge is not about the application is not working. It is about silos.
It's about the silos.
Yeah, it is about the applications are having multiple nodes and the data which is moving within the organization either on the manual sheets or they are basically not integrated with each other. And the kind of ecosystem which today, with the help of the technology advancement which is coming in, the artificial intelligence, where the data is the actual fuel, and it requires a real-time data to give you the real-time report.
Absolutely.
And it is very, very important that the applications, those are being developed in the current scenario, it needs to be focused to the organizational requirement. And I feel this is the time where we should look towards the improvising the organizational enterprise architecture. Because what I could understand and I see here, Anuragji, that the application which was developed 5 years back or 10 years back, today to move that application to the next level of architecture change, every organization, they are afraid of. They are afraid of losing their data. They have spent a lot of time to stabilize the application. For the adoption of
efforts,
application.
Money.
Yes. So they are afraid of, if today I am going to reinvest or restart or reinvent the wheel, it should not take another decade. So as you rightly said, it may take another 20 years, but I feel may not be that because of the kind of advancement it is happening.
Yeah, but see, I'm not the expert who can really predict what will happen.
No, I got it. But what is required here is the intent, which you said in one of your previous answers, that management and the functional teams, those also need to be part of this journey. And then only we will be able to achieve what is required. And very, I'm really liking the discussion because I can see so many years of experience which you are bringing on the table and the kind of experience from the technology standpoint, how we can fill the gap for each other. That is the objective. So the next question is, logistics has traditionally been B2B, invisible to the end customer.
Yeah.
But that's changed. Today, a purchase manager at a power plant, a procurement head at a hospital, or a factory GM expects the same real time visibility on a 50-ton shipment that they get on a Swiggy order. How has that customer expectation shift changed how you think about logistic performance metrics?
See, this e-com companies, you cannot compare the e-com companies. That is why the name is given e-commerce. They're not given a name of the logistics companies. There's a hell lot of difference. Fundamental, emotional, there's a lot of differences are there. See, one of the point I left it into your previous question is people have started moving towards the IT and the technology. Yes, this is also correct that Excel sheets and PowerPoint, those presentations is still being used because of lot of the reasons. People don't want to change, or they have changed but they could not able to adopt it. They don't understand because training and education may be one of the point maybe that will be popped up. But companies are large companies, especially the Indian multinational companies, they have changed 60 to 70% their entire channel. Still, Excel sheet is being used. I'm sure after some time that also they will completely obsolete. You know what happened? Change management. The one word into my MBA classes, I heard about the change management. What is change management?
Right.
So change management is a process which takes some time. But here, when we talk about the way we work, the one day someone has to take a decision. Okay, today is the last day.
Yeah.
We don't want to see anyone's desk, laptop or the computer. You have one iPad,
Right.
which is connected with the internal softwares, right? You will get the pop-up, resolve the things there, and that's it, right? The more facility we give to the people who are, I'm sure in the large power generation companies, you must have seen the big controlling rooms inside the turbine and generator area. People have hundreds of monitors. What is that?
Yeah, right. Control center.
Do they have liberty to decide anything? No. They are monitoring there. Behind that, even before that, there is a software system which is monitoring everything. What is the temperature is happening, how the coal is moving, how much the heat is required with that generator, how much is this. They are monitoring everything. So one day someone has decided, no, stop. 50 years before, everything was manual. Everything was manually was happening. Now everything has changed. At least EPC 80% has changed. The same way someone has to software. Today is the last day.
Right.
See, software is changing. Earlier SAP, SD, module, hundreds of modules was there. People used to use, was very expensive modules, right? Then SAP, then S4HANA has came. It took 5-7 years. Now RISE has come. Something advancement. It is not because of they wanted to sell the product, because they realized a lot of new things need to be added on, which is earlier platform not at all will work. People who train to do that, they need to upskill themselves. So upskilling the people, the training to the employees are very essential part, especially to changing their mindset.
Continuous education.
Continuous improvement. Actually. That's a part of continuous improvement.
Right.
So that requires to be done. Things will happen. I never believe that things will not. It will always happen. People made the satellite. Satellites are going. India has. People used to say it's a poor country into the space technology. The people from other countries, they're sending their small satellites, and one the carrier is taking 150 small satellites into that. India, right. And the what cost? Throwaway cost.
Yes.
Throwaway cost.
Absolutely. And Anuragji, what you rightly said, there are a couple of things. One is, I believe when the sunset date, when you should sunset the previous processes is very, very important. And this call can be only taken at the management level. But to give that kind of a confidence to the management, I believe the testing phase has to be very, very hard. Yeah. And this testing phase should include the users, should include the functional team member. Also, at some point, we should involve the customer. And I believe if you have done the testing right, I don't think there will be any challenge.
Yes,
but
yes.
The hand-holding stage where the application has gone live, we should have a quite good amount of support available, because making an application live is not where your journey ends. The transformation journey
starts
at the adoption.
Yeah.
Once it is adopted, and I have seen, Anuragji, by taking care of these kind of steps, we have given a 99% of adoption. But that 99% of adoption was not because we did some miracle. We ensured that every last user should have those kind of facility for training is available. If they are having any challenge, the support is available. So what you are trying to emphasize, and I agree to this point, where if a truck driver being asked to carry his mobile, there is a chances of truck driver is going to lose the mobile, or if it is going to put the mobile somewhere else,
Internet
or may are
not
going
available.
to switch off the location, and he may come up and says ki whether you're paying for the data, I don't want to switch on. Because he knows that you are tracking him. Though we are not tracking the truck driver, we are tracking the truck and shipment.
We're tracking the shipment.
Yeah, actually.
We don't care about.
But the fact is, it is a mindset again.
It is
I
a
will come
mindset.
to there,
It is
right?
mindset.
Because everybody feel like it is my privacy which is getting hurt.
No.
Yeah, but the fact is not like that,
No.
right?
Yes, absolutely not.
Yeah. So this is how it is. Anuragji, I will have a follow-up question to this. What's the KPI that best captures customer experience in logistics? And is it actually tracked inside Kalpataru or Hitachi Energy, or does it live in someone's inbox?
No, it's an open fact actually. The KPIs for the customers. I mean, every company it is the same. For the very first thing is a TAT, turnaround time, on-time delivery, on-time pickup, damage-free deliveries. That's the three things. If you are doing it, you've done the logistics. Doing these four things, what all the efforts is needed? We were talking almost 1 hour.
Okay.
Right? Customer, if I purchase something, if I invested even 100 rupees,
Right.
even a $1 or $100,000,
Absolutely.
I need my value back.
Absolutely.
On time, scratchless, without damage.
Right.
Amazon, what they did, if you found something, click a picture, upload that. Next day, someone comes and pick up.
Absolutely.
They don't even talk about.
Right.
And once the pickup happens, in 1 hour or 2 hours, your money is refunded to your account.
That is what the customer experience is, and
Yes.
absolutely right. Your point is I liked it. Damage-free delivery and pickup and delivery time, and this is where I believe the customer experience lives. Because he knows when his delivery is expected, and many a time if I see on these commerce site when you're talking about Amazon or Flipkart,
E-commerce,
they are giving us ETA of say 1 week. Sometimes they are delivering even 1 day or 2 day prior to the given dates.
course.
Because they want to be committed to their delivery timelines.
Yes, they know. They knows it. I mean,
Yes.
the same way. I mean, the project business is different. That's what I said. Let's not. Even I'm talking this to the multiple forums also. Let's not mix up the e-commerce and the logistics. There's two different platforms.
But the question here is not we are trying to mix it up, but we are trying to say the customer expectation.
KPIs are
experience.
same.
Yeah.
KPIs are same.
Right.
I mean, logistics is logistics. And
Absolutely.
KPIs are same.
We can't compare 1,000 tons of transformer with a small package.
And of course, into the manufacturing industry, there's one more thing. I mean, it just hit to my mind. We can also keep it the information.
Right.
The information, the knowledge is the key. If you are giving information to the end customer, sir, I stuck here. I cannot move because there is a cyclone.
Right.
There is a flood. This is the picture. This is a newspaper cutting. No customer will jump on you and will tell you, I don't care.
So,
bring it my material.
Absolutely. So the trust,
Trust.
the visibility and trust, which is actually the
Of course.
key. Absolutely. I 100% agree with you.
Of course.
I will take on to the thing we have been talking from last, I think, a couple of, maybe around an hour. So AI is now being applied to freight rate predictions,
Yeah.
carrier scoring, route optimization,
Yeah.
and exception management.
Yeah.
From your 20 years of building these process manual, as you were talking about,
Yeah.
I have so many of written books or manuals ready with you. Which of these AI applications do you think will have the most transformative impact, and what ones are still solving for problems that don't exist at the scale in India?
I mean, I don't think so. For the project business, AI are not that advanced to do anything. See, AI is giving a prediction based on some data bank, right?
Absolutely.
And from there, where this data bank is coming? This data bank is coming from e-commerce companies, from airline companies, or from the shipping lines. None of their data bank are available from the manufacturing facilities of Airbus, Boeing, GE. These are the Philips.
Nobody will give that.
No one will give that. I mean,
Absolutely, because that is also-
even if they give that, the data will show to transport 500 kilometer took 1 day, and the same transporting 500 kilometer it took 30 days. So AI will not understand for the same distance why it took so much of time. The first product is 10 kgs of parcel. Person has traveled on the bus. The other product is 100 tons of the transformer, which is gone. So they will not understand that.
So what is basically here, we have to train our model actually. That is
We
what
have to upgrade.
is.
I mean,
So-
data.
No, absolutely.
Data source.
Yeah. So, for example, I am just giving an example. Your 20 years of experience and the manuals which you have created,
Yeah.
you can say, for example, in my case,
Yeah.
what I'm putting a heavy load now, maybe on some AI model, but that AI model is not knowing what I need. So I have trained it to understand
You have
my
to ask,
expectation.
which road should I go?
Yeah, I have to enter my data to it. I have to provide my information to it. So it is just like you hire a trainee, you teach him training, and the problem with the training is he, left the in next 3 months. Then you are again to hire a new person to it.
You're
But in
investing on
this,
what?
yeah. So in this case, in the case of AI, when you are training a model, you know this model is yours model, your data, and it will stay with you. So I believe that is what can add another layer of value for you to create those kind of things.
Now, what is the utilization? A company who is making a tires
Yeah, right.
for their supply chain is different, right? Actually, of course, we are discussing from quite some time about the logistics, their
Right.
problems and technology advancement. You need to bring in, I request, bring in some expert who can really able to explain how this, the whole tree pyramid starts.
Yeah, right.
First, the meaning of the logistics.
Right.
How many type of logistics we have today in country. I mean,
Absolutely.
thousands of people, except the FMCG, they've never heard about the term called JIT, JIT, just in time. मुझे भी बहुत सालों के बाद मालूम पड़ा था. तो बहुत सारे layers है. There's a many layers. There's a barging. There's a seaways. There's
Yes.
hundreds of things. So someone who really explain that what is that logistics about, and then fit the the company, the project-based company, the FMCG company, and multiple companies,
Right.
and then the questions, because then the questions and the answers and advancement of the AI will be more relevant.
Right.
What solution tire manufacturing company needed, project-based company doesn't needed that at all. I mean, the EPC company doesn't needed that. Their requirements are different.
Absolutely.
So tire manufacturing company manufacturing a tire somewhere, some city in them, they have in the next 30 days should reach to the customer. That's it. And they forgot.
I got your point, and definitely we will work on these thoughts. So I have a follow-up question on this, and if you were a 30-year-old logistic tech entrepreneur building the most needed product for India's supply chain right now, what would you build?
Today, I mean, of course, I spend most of the times into the project management. So something which will be at least cater 60 to 70% of the services which linked. I mean, so like Amazon, we have taken too many times of name. Your product name is Shatranj, which is a chess.
Right.
So if you write a chess, so it'll give you thousands of results, something like that. So that is a kind of dream. I know I cannot able to do it because IT, technology, coding as a next level things, which is when I completed my studies 30 years before, that was different. Now what's happening, my son is doing it, it's something different.
Right.
So I can relate that, but a lot of people who's asking for a help, I'm giving my directions also based on my knowledge. But definitely I like to link those gaps, whatever those gaps are between the different softwares. If I could able to do it, I'll be the happiest person.
So one problem statement which you feel that it can be sorted out, I would solve that. So can you just share that one problem that you can say that? There are so many problems, I know, but if there is one problem you can say, okay, I would like to solve that if I have been an entrepreneur to solve it.
Very difficult question. There's, every day some problems are coming in, and I am a firm believer that nothing is impossible.
Absolutely, sir.
It may take some time. Of course, I mentioned a couple of the things in my previous answers. I want government to support this industry. I mean, I'm from the manufacturing industry, but I still feel the pain to the transporting companies. I still feel the pains into the drivers. I used to meet almost hundreds of truck drivers every time. They are in pain. So government has to support them. Government is already started doing it. I mean, the very nice roads, highways, toll-free highways, everything government is doing it, but still far way to go. So whatever I can support into that, making at least some kind of software, at least to the, Waze is the one of the software. Whenever I go to US, I use Waze. I never use Google there. So what is Waze? If someone at the US, they can understand what is the Waze. So Waze is what? is everything. So Waze is a software which is already running into a dashboard of the truck driver. Waze is always telling, okay, now you already drove your vehicle for 8 hours. Now it is a time to rest. The next halting spot is 2 miles from here. Go and stop there your vehicle. And the moment he switched off, the engine will stop and never on for next 4 or 5 hours. So driver has to take a rest. The nice washrooms are available. Either they prepare a food and have it the food. Some kind of these facilities. See, these are the very basic human needs. This is the very smallest support what we can do. Right. And imagine it, the kind of outputs will come with this. Massive.
Absolutely. So I think you touched upon the answer somewhere to my next question, but India is spending 11 lakh crore on infrastructure in this budget cycle alone.
Yeah.
For a supply chain professional, is this the most exciting moment to be in this field in India's history? And what's the one bottleneck that could slow it all down?
So people should bring everything into the government portals first thing, paying their their taxes wholeheartedly. Still, we are how much? 5% of the total population. Why government is doing it all this? Government is, and which money from? Government is not earning anything. Government don't have any factories on it. It is people tax money,
right,
which is coming in, and people, government is spending and each for these infrastructures. So people has to be mindful by declaring whatever the taxes, even if it is $1, if it's $1,000, please do it very holistically. So support to the government so that the government can support to the the people like us. And then if people get benefited, it will pass through. It's a system.
Right.
They don't keep anything into their pockets.
Right.
Now excise duty, 10 rupees of the excise duty government has reduced. And you read in the newspaper 1,50,000 crores rupees of the hit every month government has taken on their head just because of the common people should not suffer. They reduce the excise duties. So that is how it has been coming. Everything is linked. Industry alone thinks something will not happen. People alone think something service provider will not happen. Everything cumulatively they have to think. They have to think for the betterment of the country, betterment of our society. Then only it will happen. That is why in the very first question I said it will take minimum 20-25 years, because the next generation or next to next generation who will come, they're very advanced. Gen Zs,
yes,
they're very advanced. They're very talkative. They wanted to know everything.
Right.
Which is lovely.
Right.
It's very, very lovely. I mean, one of my old organization, one very young boy has joined, and we were at the, our lunch area. Of course, I was there with, on the lunch table with my colleagues. So that guy has passing through. That happens with me. So he was just crossing. Eye-to-eye contact has happened. You know what he said? I'm 51 years of age, and that boy may not be 22 or 23 years. Like, hey, dude, can we catch up? 3 o'clock.
Right.
So I said, why not? Come to my place. We'll sit together. We'll have coffee together.
Right.
And the people sitting around me were shocked. Boss. I said, these are the blessing. I mean, a boy who may not seen the world and the complexity, which he may definitely learn.
Right.
He's asking me a dude. That means he's upgrading myself from my age factor up to his scale.
Right.
What is wrong into that? There's nothing, no questions. No, it is a respect. I said, nonsense. There's nothing called a respect. So new generation thinks in this way, which is perfect, and we should respect it. Unless we adopt. The people who are into the older generation should adopt the new things. Absolutely. If they don't adopt, this is one of the answer to your question. If they don't adopt, they will not successful.
Yeah, right. You're right. And this is where today's generation, that's the reason I feel, is able to think that kind of out of the box answers which we might have been.
They argue, they
missing.
Discuss, they don't feel bad to argument,
right.
Which is very good.
Right.
If you keep something in your heart, if you don't discuss.
So I'm coming to the next question, which is somewhere aligned to this, the young age chaps. So if there is a 20-year-old logistic manager sitting right now in a warehouse, feeling stuck watching the industry digitalize around them, what's the one move on the Shatranj board you would tell them to make?
Come out from the warehouse. Don't sit at warehouse. That's not your job. Sitting in a warehouse is not a job of the logistics manager. If you're sitting in the warehouse, He's making his mind more complex. It's not required.
Come on the ground, see the battle.
Come on the ground.
See the battle, and you will get the move. You will
For
find
handling
your
the
ways.
warehouse, we have the best of the best softwares already available.
Right.
WMS, thousands of WMS are available.
Right.
Warehouse management system, not required. That's already developed.
Right.
So don't sit there.
Right.
That's my advice.
Oh, that's wonderful. So, Anuragji, you built ABB Transport Management Center.
Not I built, I was the part of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Because this is all about, see, I have been a part of, transport management system for a solution for the government of Maharashtra in one of my company.
Yeah.
And if I speak about the kind of solution that was designed, it was thought through. Today, if you see, earlier, I remember we used to go into the bus stand, take the ticket, and then you have to go to the bus stand only to take the ticket, right?
course.
Or either you have to sit in the bus stand.
Railway.
Today, you can book the tickets of the bus, any bus,
Railway
anywhere,
reservation counters.
and you don't need to go to the reservation counter. The things have changed. So that is the same transport system which we always used to think when it is going to change. And you are 51, I am 50, so we have not much of the age difference, but we have seen those days. I am trying to say.
You and me, we both cannot able to see those real transformations.
Yes.
We may not be there, or we may not be, in position to really to understand what will happen after 20 years.
Yes.
But that will happen.
Right. So my question is now, the ABB's TMC from scratch process, dashboard, change management, and transport onboarding. Today, platform claim to offer this out of the box. If a supply chain head asked you whether to build a logistic control tower or buy a platform, what honest framework would you give them? Where does build win, and where does it quietly bleed the organization over the time?
I always prefer some software development company to come and pitch in, who are already into the research of the similar kind of product. See, today's major problem is everyone started thinking to creating a software and create a value and sell their product,
right?
Whether it fits or not. So I don't name it again. One of the very top 10 companies of the software development companies who has created this, one of the TMS. So one of their employee has connected with me online. I said, come to my office, boss. I'm not that advanced that we talk always on the Teams. I need someone who sits right in front of me, eye-to-eye contact. We shake hand, we have a coffee together,
yes,
and then we'll discuss. So, somehow their bosses said, no, that gentleman sits at US and different time zone.
Right.
I said, okay, I compromise my time. Let's bring him. So that boy, I said, what you have did so far? Okay, if you can explain me, then only I can able to help you. He told me so many things, lot good, flashy things. I said, my friend, you with your talking accent, it looks like you are Indian. He said, yes, I'm from India. I said, okay. I said, not supposed to as per law term. But can I know how much experience do you have? He said, in software development, I have in 2.5 years. I said, fantastic. So that means you finished your education only 3 years before, right? He said, almost years. I said, how much time did you spend into the logistics industry? So he has no answer. I said, never. And he asked me a question. I said, why it is required? I said, I'm the last person who will answer you this question. If you don't know what this industry is all about, you cannot. You will fail. And trust me, they failed in their entire platform. It's collapsed one of the day because the logics which has been given to give a hit was all wrong. Because the people, they never interviewed to the people. So these software companies, you're coming back to your question, these software companies has to talk to the experts into the market, where people spend their life doing this. They should take a note. Then they should create the infrastructure. Then they cross check. Then they bringing this into the software platform, doing any kind of coding is the very last step. Absolutely. So software companies are doing the very first mistake. They start with the coding.
Right. No, you are absolutely right, Anurag. This is where actually we also talk about, right? First, we need to do a discovery and understanding what is the requirement, what is the pain point.
Yes.
Now, what we are discussing here, I was talking to you on the transport management application, the solution which was designed for Maharashtra State Transport Corporation in my previous organization. That was one of the case which I did for the transport management system. If somebody asks me, I still will go and talk to the person and understand what he needs.
Exactly.
Whether I've done it or not.
Yes.
Similarly, I was working on some of the solution which was related to healthcare. Somebody said, I have not seen anything in your career span of healthcare. How you're doing it? I said, because I born and brought up in the family of doctors. So I understand those terminology, and that's the reason I'm working on it. But does that make me the perfect person to build it?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I need to talk to that person. I need to discuss with the subject matter expert.
Yes.
Then only I will be able to reach it. So what you are saying, it is absolutely the way. So you need to discover the things. You have to, share those kind of, requirement with the organization. Let them come back with their thought process. Then you design the solution architecture.
Yes.
Then you create the enterprise level where this application is going to sit, how it is going to integrate with the various application on your in your complete landscape. So what you were talking about, how it is going to communicate with the data, so how it will bring the data inside it. So all those things, if you are not doing it, you are tend to mistakenly going to flop, and that is where what you are trying to say. I 100% agree with your point, and your experience which you are talking about while you are doing this transport management center. So this is where you have learned those things. I can see, and it is all coming from your experience.
That is why companies today, now last answer to your question, third question, that is why companies are using the Excel sheets. Because IT companies are not matured enough, no matter which company, I challenge them, to really understand the product. If they don't understand the product, they cannot able to make a solution. So UAT is a magical word. People into the IT field, they love to use this word many times.
Yes.
I asked one of the profession, what is the word? What do you mean by UAT? UAT means this, user acceptance. I said, that I know. I am educated enough to understand the English. What does it mean? So he said, the final testing. I said, boss, wrong. You're 100% wrong. How many user layers you have?
Right.
The first user layer where you have taken a knowledge transfer.
Right.
Second, person who has given you authority to develop this. Third person, once you have developed, then cross-questioning between this person to this person, how this product has been. If these layers are satisfied, if they have given their acceptance to you,
right,
the final UAT has to happen 7th or 8th stage, depending on what kind of product we are dealing with.
Absolutely.
You did some UAT and some coming, Teams meeting online and some chit-chat for half an hour, 45 minutes or 2 hours or 3 hours, and you said it's over. No, it's not over. That's the beginning.
Absolutely. I remember some of the UAT was being done for a week or 10 days, depending on the size of the solution and size of the users. Those are going to use it. So it is actually a kind of a A/B test, a very strong testing has to be done.
Yes. I mean, the complete risk of the organization, I said, I also use one word, one day, organization has to say, stop, now this.
Right.
So if someone, the CFO of the company or CEO of the managing director, if they are taking that call, on basis of what?
For confidence. Where is that confidence to come from? Right?
If I am in the deciding position, I will really like to interview people who develop this product.
Absolutely.
And what kind of experience they have. They really know how many tires are there in one LP truck. What is the size of the tires. They really know how many types of custom document note need to be prepared, how many types of LRs are there,
right,
how many types of trucks are there, how many types of fuels has been used. I just wanted to know. They may say, we don't care, we don't need it that. No,
right,
you have to need it that.
Absolutely. It is required. So if you inherited ABB's logistic function in 2026 instead of 2014, would you build the TMC the same way?
No, it will be something different. Of course, 10 years is too much of time for the whole generation changes in 10 years of time. So mindset would have been different. I'm still trying to do something really innovative, less time taking, less pain into the every function which is being using. I'm already started talking to a lot of people into the compliances, a lot of people into the trade compliances, a lot of people into the customs, a lot of people into the finances, what pain they have.
Right.
So I have, in last 30 days, I already have 3 diaries pad are full. I'm noting down everything. Then I'll bring it into the, Excel sheet as usual.
Right.
Then I try to put this into some kind of AI module that, okay, what is common into that? What is a differentiator? I'll do the hits into a different way. Of course, I'll use the AI because I'm already using it. But ultimately, every product is unique, right? We cannot, use the same product for everything.
Absolutely.
So every product is different. So my thought process may be different, maybe kind of old school, but that's okay. I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
As long as I'm giving results, I'm happy with it.
Absolutely. So here is the one last question. India's trucking ecosystem is highly fragmented with millions of small operators
Yeah.
and single truck owners.
Yeah.
From your experience at ABB, Hitachi, and now Kalpataru,
Yeah.
what does it really take to build a digital accountable carrier network in a market still driven by trust, paper, LRs, and basic phones? Where does tech adoption break down, and where have you seen it work?
Company, government has to give them a certificate as an industry first. Second thing, to bring some kind of regulation that everything had to be into the some platform of the government of India. Morth platform, you use the word the Vahan. Vahan is the just one of the part of the
Right.
Morth platform. Okay, and government had to make a mandatory something. I'll give you the local example. Around 2 years before, government has asked it is a mandatory to link your Aadhaar card to your PAN card.
Right.
People has, they had argued, but they never thought that what is the actual reason behind it. Now the results are coming in. First thing, people identify, the government identify the people. Second, the flight booking. I mean, 20 years before, I used to go to the airport, the flight booking counter. There, every airport, there used to be a counter.
Right.
Sir, मेरे को यहाँ का ticket चाहिए, आप दे दीजिए, and take the, they used to tell me money and to book a manual ticket and all. How many places are you seeing that? Nowhere. Stopped. Right? Government has taken another initiative. So you link these things with your
There
question.
should be mandates.
Your question.
Yeah.
Digiyatra. What is
Right.
Digiyatra?
Yeah, it is digitization where you.
Yes. So government knows any given point of time, government of India, they're monitoring everything.
Right.
The government is very smart. They're monitoring everything. Every time they know how many times this person has traveled within India and outside India.
Right.
Because they're crossing through that channel. Even though if you're not crossing through Digi Yatra portal, the CISF officer, 99% of the airport, they'll ask you to scan the barcode. Then only the gate will open.
Right.
So data is going somewhere.
Yeah.
Your ticket is already linked with somewhere.
Right.
Government has the data, right? These are the finances. Person who never paid the taxes, flown 20 times in a month, right? So like this is just an example to give this forum to really to understand when the industry cadre will happen, there's some kind of, visibility will come on. Some kind of government will make a mandate. Every truck has to be registered and posted into the Vahan portal.
Right.
Today, if I wanted to see, suppose my car number, if anyone can type, I'll have a detail. May not the full name will visible or mobile number, I have a detail. Same has happened with the trucks also. Government started doing it. The same way, the bookings, same way, they're not reporting actually. The problem is most of the transporting companies are not reporting what they are doing.
Yeah, that's where the mandate is required. Basically,
that is where the data will come. People will know from Eastern India to Southern India, the total weightage which is moving. Data is available. The data for the railways, it's available. Freight corridor data is available. But for the trucking company, which they are doing 90% of the freight, data is not available. Maybe 10% data is available. So they'll mandatorily, they will start reporting all of this to the platform. Somewhere, if you say the two companies will merge together and they create a software and share with the government, they will never do that. Someone has to come forward and then do it. Government already. Vahan is the one of the platform. How many trucks registrations has happened? How many trucks are available today in India? How many barges are available in? I can track everything.
Yeah, that is basically, if I see with this kind of information, things are moving fast. It is not basically creating any hurdle into the business. It is actually helping the organization to have a visibility. The trust is building up. Even the government is also able to vouch on such kind of organization. Yes. And I feel with this kind of information available online is creating the credibility of that organization as well. So is carrier digitization mainly a technology trust or commercial incentive problem? And which one unlocks the rest?
Both actually, both. There's a lot of commercial things are available. Government of India demonetization policy was, it's not for they know something.
Right.
They know many things, right? A lot of things has been controlled.
Right.
I have a lot of guests in last 2 years who was traveling from Europe. right? And they're amazed to see how we are using the UPI.
Yes.
They said, boss, a small vendor not even earning $100 in a day using a UPI, there's no cash. I said, no cash.
No cash. I hardly notice having cash in my pocket.
You
Because
go to Europe, you have to always keep a cash in your pocket.
Right.
Hardly out of 100, hardly 10 places accepts your credit card.
Absolutely.
So we are already far ahead. So that is the trust. That is your answer to the trust. Second is the credibility, showing after GST, a lot of things have changed. Government says you please pay the GST and take a refund of it. Do you even imagine what ratio the GST collection is getting boomed?
Yeah, it is.
And very promptly government is refunding their
Right.
GST also, IGST and CGST collections, whatever has been happening.
Right.
And it's transparent.
Right.
If you want your companies, you can go and see. The moment you raise your commercial invoice, it's in the portal. The moment you put your GST number, it is in the portal.
Right. So this is a kind of transparency actually we wanted to bring on the supply chain as well.
Same way, LR, goods consignment note, bill of lading, bill of entry has to be automated somewhere into the government platform so the people will know. See, what happened today is the industry is very scheduled, Any manufacturing company in India, whether it is a small or if it's a big, they are doing every invoicing, the straight invoicing over the GST portal. So government knows what is the input and what is output. Right. They have raised the invoice. To transporting, they clearly, very transparently write, okay, from this state to this state. So what has happened after that? Once they raise the invoice, whether it is reached or it is not reached.
Right.
Somewhere the data, checkpost data may say that, okay, it has crossed the border, but it is really reached.
So basically, even having barcode or vehicle, those are
tracking systems.
Tracking systems, actually help to keep this visibility and
some
transparency.
Kind of visibility.
Better.
It's still not 100%. Barcoding still not 100%.
Right.
At least something will come on the paper. Yeah. Then we know how much fault we are doing it.
Right.
80%, 20%, 10%. At least we know from where to start.
Right. So I would like to take rapid fire and quick responses because that is where I think. So manual logistic expertise versus great TMS platform, which wins?
TMS platform.
The most overrated logistic technology of the last 5 years. The most overrated logistic technology of the last 5 years.
There are many.
Anyone?
No, that's okay. That's not fair. Because there are many. Okay. People are, IT development companies are really working very hard. I'll tell you, every day out of 24 hours, 15 hours, boys are really working hard. But are they working in the right direction? That's a question mark.
So air freight versus sea freight, which is the more underrated weapon?
Air freight, because of cost. Yeah.
One book every supply chain leader should have read by now. I know you are a good reader, so that's...
I don't know for supply chain what really need to be... See, I have a couple of books from last 30 years which I keep reading it. I mean, maybe some of our meeting I mentioned you that also.
Right.
The first book is, one of my boss actually told me to read. Every year I'm finishing that book.
Right.
That book name is 48 Laws of Power. Written by Robert Greene.
Right.
So almost 14 or 15 times I read that book. It's a quite thick book. Every time I'm reading, my answers are different. Because if I read that book first time in 2014, the scenarios was different. Now if I'm reading that book today, the scenarios was different. So my boss as a manager that time who advised me, Anurag, once the day you feel that you really understood this book, the second book you should read is 38 Rules of War. Again from Robert Greene.
Okay.
It's not about the war.
Right.
Rules of Power is again not about the power.
Right.
So please go through. It's may not able to help you to build your character, but it will definitely help to make you the solid human being. And once you are into the commercial life, it will show you how to stand.
Very well said. India's logistics sector in 2030, world class or still playing catch up?
2030 is too early. It's still catching up. It will not be world class. So we are still far away. India is not a small country.
Right.
No? We are not Taiwan. Right? We are not Taiwan.
Yeah. It's a
They'll
country
take
of 140 crore people.
You need to match this your question with the vision of the prime minister of the country, right? What he wants it to be happen, right? Industrialization, it has started. Localization, which is again started, they're saying everywhere that please use the localization. This is not our festival, our great festivals. 60% of the product we bought to our homes for spiritual purposes, are they made at India? No. They're not made at India. Simple. So localization is very important.
Right.
The real effect, real money, real cash, or real benefit has to reach to the end user. That's how I believe it. So 2030 is little very aggressive. The kind of transformations we have already started into the, infrastructure is a key. It's already started. Next 5 years, the only infrastructure things will happen. Because we are not even reached to the halfway.
Right.
Only 2 or 3 such projects, but there are another hundreds of projects are going on. You go and see the, undersea water project in Bombay. I was amazed how these guys have stated. Couple of years before, they made Worli Sea Link towed. I mean, that's too much. The way the entire infrastructure, how they have did it. I mean, this is a marvel of engineering. Started. The mission is already started. So first infrastructure, parallelly, a lot of things are been happening. So we have a lot of requirements. Supply chain will happen. Supply chain will, grow parallelly. Imagine when we grow at least 75% of the percentage of the global index, supply chain is already there. Imagine it, because supply chain adjusts everything.
Right.
It's a product like that.
Right. So thank you everyone for being part of this episode of Shatranj. This episode was co-sponsored by SuperProcure, India's intelligent logistic platform helping companies like yours to get real-time visibility, reduce freight cost, and deliver the customer experience your buyer now demand. If Anurag's journey resonated, SuperProcure is the platform that puts that intelligence in your hand from day one. Every move in your organization, in your career, has a meaning. And to be a grandmaster, we need to understand what kind of move we are taking. You don't need to be a knight, or you can be a simple pawn. It depends upon you how you take a move, and a pawn can also checkmate the king on the other side. So this is another session of Shatranj, and we look forward to meet you soon. Thank you being part of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.